Welcome all. This is our lecture 8 for the subject Law for Engineers, and the today's topic is international law. International law means as every country have its special laws to regulate the behavior of its citizens. As in India, we have laws to perform any task, anything. As all over the world, then there should be some laws that will operate all over the world as well. As the laws mentioned in our constitution, they are applied, they are imposed only in the territory of India as well. But what about when we go to another country, or a country will trade with another country, or in some conditions import, export, or many more. This is the need to take in consideration about international laws, which regulates the governments. Here, I want to clear one thing, that the international laws will imposed on the member country government, not on the citizens of the country, the particular country. This is imposed on the government of that particular state or a country. Now it's depend on the government of particular country or state to apply that particular law in its state or not. Or some parts they can impose, or some part they cannot. Okay, this is known as international law. As international law, as other laws, international law is the set of rules, agreements, and treaties. All the treaties come under the international laws, are binding between countries. It means these laws imposed on countries and vary according to country. When sovereign states enter into agreements that are binding and enforceable, it's called international laws. These are came into force when any agreement, any treaty, any rules between two member countries or two different countries will join together to perform any particular law. As mentioned here, countries come together to make binding rules and they believe benefit their citizens. And these international laws promotes peace, prosperity to every citizens. International laws apply to government. As I discussed earlier, international laws apply to governments, and it's up to the each state of the government to implement and follow international laws or not, or any part of that particular laws. Next, here are some important topics or important aspects in which international laws might address and regulate. These are in the condition of human rights, treatment of refugees, because refugees are belong to the different country and they are sheltering or take shelter in the different country. Then how to treat them? That because of the human rights will be protected of that particular refugees. Next, the prosecution for international crimes, as when any person or any citizen of a country will break the rules of that particular country and shift to the different country, then what will be happen? As suppose a person is a citizen of India and he make a crime in India, and after committed that crime, he went to any foreign country. Then our laws, according to the India, they will not impose in that particular country. So there should be a mechanism to handle these kind of situations. Then these are our international laws. Next one, arms agreement and controls. Next, how states can claim new territories. These are all mentioned in the international laws. These are all to prevent the wars and etc. The regulating common spaces like water and outer spaces in the world, trade between states, preventing wars, when it's okay for a state to use force, fair treatment of prisoners, as the countries will exchange their prisoners, or any citizens of any country make any crime in different country, then how to treat that, or how to treat them. Preserving the environment, because environment is the issue of global level. All the countries will directly associated with this condition. Okay, so this will also come in international laws. Next, public international laws concerns the relationship between nations. This includes standards of international behaviors. These particularly contains law of sea, economic laws, diplomatic laws, environmental laws, human rights laws, and humanitarian law. In these, we will discuss, there are some things in our syllabus also, that is law of seas, economic laws. We will discuss in further videos. Okay, so let's move ahead. There are common as customary laws. We will also learn this thing, that is customary law. Since most international laws is governed by treaties, it's usually treaties are the signed agreement between two nations. It's usually up to the individual nations to enforce the law. However, there are a few international organizations that enforce certain treaties. The most notable example is the United Nations, which has 193 member states and regulates the all international laws. So this is all done in this lecture today. Prepare your good quality notes and be in learning mode always.